Let's start with a very basic, simple question. Tell us, what type of information is out there about us?
There's a lot of information out there on the internet about us, and it's growing pretty much by the month. And most of it is stuff that we agreed to put out there, whether we realize that we did or not. Whenever you go and search a big website, there's a record that you're leaving of what you're searching and where you're going. When you visit a lot of big websites, they'll ask you to agree to their terms and conditions, and you have to check the box, and there's 3 pages of legalese that's up there that nobody bothers to read. That governs usually what they're collecting about you and what they can share with other people. So a lot of it's out there, and there are companies that will market this. Some companies will sell it to others that are data brokers, and then they'll turn around and sell the information to other people because they want to send you better internet ads, or targeted coupons in the mail or something like that.
Now, most of us are required, or actually all of us that go into the internet and go into commercial websites and share our private information, we're required to check a box that has something to do with privacy policy.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, most of the big sites, Apple, Amazon, a lot of places, do have that box, and you check, say, well, I agree to your terms and conditions, and there's this long bit of it used to be, on the fine print on your contract. It's legalese. Nobody bothers to read it. I can't claim that I've bothered to read it. And it indicates, what you agree to do, what they can do with your data, what they're collecting about it, how long they'll keep it, and all that sort of thing. It really is kind of a take it or leave it sort of situation. You can't go to Amazon and say, well, I agree to paragraphs 1, 3, 4, and 6, but these other ones we need to negotiate. They're not going to do that. So as a practical matter, it's a take it or leave it.
So should we be worried about signing that policy? And what can the companies do with that information?
They can sell it in a lot of cases to other companies, and different companies have different rules about that. Apple, for example, is very meticulous and says that they won't share your information at all, and they're they don't do that. You could say from their standpoint they want to make sure they keep their customers because that's a very valuable database. Generally, I'm not too particularly worried about it because I think they're mostly interested in me as a shopper, as a data point, rather than somebody going to come back to Mark Bernstein and say, "Oh, we noticed, you're buying a certain kind of orange juice.
Right.
What do you have to say about that?" So it's not really as much of a concern.
So, is there anything that you are personally concerned about, or that we should be concerned about the sharing of this information and the internet privacy policies?
I think that the only thing that I'm really concerned about, because the information generally is pretty innocuous.
Okay.
And like I said, mostly they're not interested in me, the individual.
Right.
I don't know that anybody's got a dossier out there on Mark Bernstein and what websites he visits. Although we talk about the NSA, that's a different issue. What I think is more of the issue is that so much of this is going on kind of under the radar. People aren't aware of it. They're not aware of what they're doing. They're not aware that this stuff is happening. And there probably should be a discussion about what we're going to do. It probably would be better if we had more people who are reading some of that legal fine print and finding out exactly what it is we're agreeing to do and what rights we still have. So I think that's my concern.